everybody. We are here this evening and we are live here. Now, I'm not going to be too loud. I want to know if everybody can hear me. Now, I know we're on here a little bit late. It is actually my time, 11:30, meaning I still did my live on on Friday, but I know some of you are way asleep. You're way in the bed and you missed this one. Now, I might get on here tomorrow if I have time, but I was just doing it tonight because I wanted to make sure that everybody was here and they were available. You guys will probably catch this tomorrow morning if you get the notification for it. So there you go. We got 5 people who jumped in, so I love it. What's going on this evening? As always, you guys got to tell me where you're from when you jump into the chat. Now, as you can see on the board back here, we have something that says belief can get you dead. Now, why would I even put that up there on the board? Well, because most people believe in certain practices and think that that belief somehow makes it factually true. And we all know that's not true at all. So hopefully I got one more question for you. How do you guys like the tie this evening? Okay, I know it's real late this evening, but we're still going to do this because I was up. I felt like doing it, and I'm going to do it anyway. So I got Stina Lynn in here. What's going on? All right, so I like it. I'm assuming that's short for Christina, but Stina, good nickname for shortening. So Stina, let's see, where are you from this evening? Okay, we got 8 people in here. At any time, you guys tell me where you're from, and once you're done with that, you feel free to throw any question you want out there as far as the medical questions. So we got, all right, Ogun. All right, Sefu. All right, I like that. So sounds like a strong African name there. Okay, good stuff. If you guys got any question, let me know. But let me get to going. All right, Detroit. Now, let me get to going on the topic here because belief, that thing is powerful. I know some people only attribute belief to religion. Now, that is cool to do because belief can get you a lot of things that you would never have gotten out of this life just simply by believing, especially if something as positive as the concept of religion. Now, the way it's carried out in most of the world, not so positive, but I always agree with positive people coming together and congregating for a positive purpose. So in that respect, yes, I do believe in belief. I also believe in the power of the placebo effect as far as belief and using it positively. See, everybody uses it negatively as far as if it's negative, you believe it'll come true in your life. But if it's positive, it's almost like you don't ever think it's going to happen in your life. But I want to say that using the placebo effect to actually reshape your mind, that's actually something that we can do. So it looks like we got 18 on you. Sharon's Poetry Corner, 2:30 a.m. for me in Brooklyn, New York, but I was up anyway. I know I was hoping the notification didn't wake you up, Sharon, so that we can wake you up out of your sleep. I was hoping that was not the case, but I see that on Friday night, some people are night owls, so that's good stuff. All right, so Stina back in here, thumbs up so everybody can hear me, everybody can see me. So good stuff on that. YouTube doing their job. Now, as far as the belief is concerned, I want to point you guys to something that might just blow your mind as far as belief is concerned. Now, there was a group or a study done where they got, of course, always, they got together a group of people. And when they got these group of people together, of course, they split these people. And what they did was they actually did a surgery. Okay, now half the group got a real surgery, half the group got a fake surgery. And what we have is that the group who got the fake surgery, and I might have mentioned this before, the group who actually got the fake surgery, actually, after 1 year, reported the same recovery as the group who got the real surgery. Now, how is that possible if they had the same knee damage? They all signed up for the same surgery, but they just made slits in their knee as if they had a surgery, but they really didn't. So they ended up, over time, 1 year, reporting the exact same recovery. Positive use of the placebo effect. Now, that I do have belief in. However, the problem is I have families who come to me who say they won't do this, they won't do that, we can't do that because we don't believe in that. My family believes in vaccination, is what they say. And I was just like, wow, is that correct? So you believe in vaccination, therefore somehow your belief makes it safe. I don't think so. And if you guys still believe that, I can't ride with you on that, because I think that what you're doing is setting yourself up for failure, because I have to look at and do research in order to see what will harm me and what will not. I can't believe that there is not genetically modified meat when I go to McDonald's and eat a hamburger. I can't believe my way out of that. All right. I can't believe that whenever I go out to a place, I am eating non-processed food just because I said I believe that. Now, for the everyday person, that's going to be the case. And you should not be trying to, I guess you shouldn't be trying to talk yourself into a certain way of thinking just because you want to eat it. That's really, I think, what the excuse is. You really want to eat the food. You're just making excuses. Or you really want to give your kids the vaccine because your neighbors are doing it, but you give the excuse that we believe in vaccines. That's nothing to believe in, truthfully. All right. I would rather you go out and do research and find out some facts for yourself. But belief usually should have no place in science. However, most science is based on belief, meaning there is no case study, there is no fact behind it. Let's give you a case in point, your blood pressure. Most people think that their blood pressure is actually a scientifically proven, safe and effective way that doctors actually diagnose and take blood pressure. First of all, squeezing the death out of your arm with a sphygmomanometer, that's a blood pressure cuff. Squeezing the death out of your arm with that thing, really not the best way to take blood pressure at all. But what do they teach hundreds of thousands of medical assistants and nurses to do every single year? They teach them to use a blood pressure cuff. Now, if that's not good enough for you, did you know you can take blood pressure by heart rate? You can just listen with a stethoscope and get the person's heart rate and equate that to an equation that actually prints out a blood pressure without squeezing a person's arm to death and then relieving the pressure, and think that's a natural way to get a blood pressure. So there's many different ways to do many different things. But again, I go all the way back to the 1800s as far as trying to find research as far as blood pressure. And what did I find? Well, I actually found that in the 1800s, there were, or I should say, sorry, the 1900s, early 1900s. What I should say is that they did a small sample study on 6 people and extrapolated that somehow all the way up till now. Now, 6 people is not a sample size of any sort to base anything on, but they did it. So it's really fallacy what you got out there. If you guys want to see more stuff about stuff like that, read a book called The China Study. I mean, absolutely fantastic. They tell you about the Hunzas, little cleaves and enclaves of people around the world who have lived to approximately 167 years old. That was the oldest person they found alive in China who actually lived that way as part of the Hunzas, the tribe over there. So I was just like, I was blown away by that because they live on average to 130 years old. And I did not believe that a human being could live that long, but now I do have that belief, and I'm easily going to make it to 120, provided nothing bad happens. Okay, so good stuff. So let's go ahead and answer some questions here. Night Owl here. Okay, Stina says she's the Night Owl. Hey, everybody, Brampton, Canada. All right, we hardly don't have any people from Canada here, but if Canada wants to ask a question, go ahead and ask the question. I won't be on here too long, so if you guys got any questions about anything, it doesn't have to be on what we're talking about. Ask it anyway. Okay, so if you got a question, throw it out there. Let me see who else I got in here right now. I got Jay Steele, 650. Hello from Kansas City. Is that Kansas City, Kansas, or Kansas City, Missouri? All right, so I know there's a difference. See? Okay, so let's find out. Now, what we did. Now, I am on here so late because I was spending time with my wife and we were having a good time just watching a Golden Knights game. And I lost track of time, and I also had to cleanse. So I did do my saline wash. I did my coffee enema today. And now I did that this evening, and it's all out of the way. That's why I had so much energy, and that's why I'm up late giving this presentation online, because I feel good after doing that, because I was starting to get something like a dull feeling in my head. And it's probably the start of a headache, but I don't have headaches, so I don't know what that feels like. But I was still starting to feel this dull pain in my head, but from eating some of the bad junk that I had just eaten after graduation and stuff like that, just to celebrate with the family after graduation. Well, when I did, I started feeling tired. I started coughing. My eyes started turning red. I had no energy level. So when I did my cleanse, guess what? Came right back, and now we got the energy for this particular presentation at 11:37 at night. So if you guys have not already, we got 25 people in here. So hit the like button down at the bottom. That way we can have 25 likes from the 25 people. Boom. All right. Good stuff. So up late, Casey in the house. Casey, I'm glad to see you. Good stuff. What can I do for my sister? She's had her period for 3 weeks. Now, We got to make sure that that is something abnormal for your sister, because if she has a period 3 weeks every time she has a period and it's 3 weeks in between, that might be normal for her body. Remember, it's not normal to have a period every month. That's what doctors tell you. That's what gynecologists tell you. They try to put you on birth control to make that true. However, you are not supposed to have a period every month. You're supposed to have a period every time your body feels that the environment of your uterus is not in the best condition to carry a child. Okay, your body determines that on its own. You don't have it, that determination is not made by a monthly clock that comes. Now, do some women have a period every month? Yes, but some women have a period every 2 weeks, and some women have a period every 3 months, and some women have a period every 6 months. So you cannot base your period or her period on a time frame based on another woman. It doesn't work that way. It means what's best for her body and what's best for carrying a child in the womb. Okay, so good question there. Okay, so ask it again. If it's abnormal and she usually has a shorter period and not that this time it's longer, let me know that. So, Stina, let me know that on that one. Hello from Reading, Pennsylvania. Brian Wright, Reading. All right, we got Pennsylvania up in the house. I love it. Let's see. Okay. KC says, you have a full body cleanse. I can do it next year. You have a full body cleanse. I can do it next year. Yes, of course. Now, next year is actually just a few days away. So that's what he's talking about as far as the cleanse. He wants to get his body off to a new start in the new year. But of course, you can. You can do a cleanse every day should you be battling a disease or a cancer, diabetes, a leukemia, something that where you're fighting in a heavy disease or infection. However, you don't have to do it that often if you're a healthy person and you're just doing it preventatively. That's a little bit different. So if you're just doing it for preventative, you're all good. You don't have to worry about anything. As far as trying to go over and above, don't try to do it too often. Just one time every 3 months is enough. Okay, especially at the beginning. Then once you start eating more healthy, you start doing your juicing. You eliminate the processed foods. You eliminate all of the chemicals in your diet, the additives, preservatives, and chemicals that they're putting in your diet every day. Then you can actually just do it once a year, and you're all good. Once a year. That's all it takes. But at the beginning, because most of us are so toxic at the beginning, you have to do it kind of on a regular basis and often. I would recommend every month, but every 3 months is cool. Okay, so don't try to stress yourself out about it. Just take your time and do it. Okay, let's see what we got here. Sharon's Poetry Corner says, I'm a vegetarian that eats fish. Is that a good thing or should I dump that too? Depends on the source, Sharon. So if you're getting the fish from a place where you know the fish is being caught, it's in fresh water and it's being imported in, by all means go for it because you probably don't have a mercury load in that fish. However, if you are getting fish from America and it's processed and it's on a shelf, then what's going to happen is you can tell the toxicity of a fish by its marbling. So if you notice really thick white lines in fish, that means that the toxins have taken over the meat and the marbling has spread. Usually if you don't see much marbling at all of the fish, then you'll see the fish is uniform, like salmon, it's uniformly orange all the way over with just the small slits of marbling in there. That means that it's usually from a good source. But to be on the safe side, always take it from a Sprouts or a Whole Foods or a hometown delicatessen or market, because when you do that, then you'll have the freshest fish possible and you won't have to worry about the importing and worrying about who touched it, who raised it, or whatever, what kind of impurities are in there. So Sharon, good question. Good question. So Angela Butler says, good morning from Charleston, South Carolina. I know we have to say good morning because you guys are up real early or you stayed up real late. All right. I know. I hope you're not listening to this drunk. If I did, I would have like some psychedelics up here to ease your mind. Okay. So that's why I'm trying not to yell. I know some people might be watching this on the computer and hopefully you don't want it to be too loud for the people who are sleeping in your house. Good enough. Here he goes. Okay, been a while, Alvin. How goes? Arby, back in the house. All right, good. I'm all good. Arby, I am all good. Life is good. I cannot complain about anything. Even with work is going good because I enjoy teaching my students and stuff like that. I've been researching. I've been learning more stuff about how to get rid of diseases and cancers and stuff like that. So I have been a treasure trove. That's what I will say, a treasure trove of gathering information so I can help people out. But I will have to tell you guys this. Okay, so just listen to this very carefully. I cannot anymore answer questions via the email. I have over 400 unanswered emails, and I just answered like 20 of them in the last 3 days. Now, for those, I have to get detailed, and I want to give a good answer to the person especially when they're dealing with a very specific condition. But I can't do that anymore because now I work with paid clients, and now my attention has to go to them because they are paying me as a client to actually help them solve a condition, and they do pay a lot of money. Now, as far as this is concerned, I am still going to do the lives just in case you guys want to ask questions here, but I can't answer them in the emails anymore because it takes way too much time away when I'm writing plans and doing FaceTimes and all that stuff with my other clients, and I have too many now in order to I guess, get on and try to answer the email. So I know eventually I'm going to have to get with and hire a team because that looks like the way this is going, because it's becoming way too big for me to handle. And I do have help from some assistants and stuff like that who send back emails, but they're not me. They can't answer health questions. Like, they're just assisting me in trying to corral all this stuff that's going on. So if you guys I guess I'm going to have to find somebody who's into health who can actually help me out and answer some of the big questions that I'm answering now, because I always know that I don't know everything, and I can always use people who are around me who are super smart and probably smarter than me, so they can actually just help me out with the load of all this. Okay, so I want to answer some more questions here before I actually get off, because I know it's late on a Friday night. I don't want to keep you guys on here too long, and hopefully I'll get back on here Saturday if you guys are available. Okay, so let me see here. We got Jay Steele. He says, my brother has a fungal nail on his toe. Is there a good way to get rid of that? He has tried everything. Okay, when you say he's tried everything, has he tried ripping it off? Because sometimes you'll just have to squeeze the nail with pliers and rip it off, which is painful. You can soak your toe in ice first to take away the feeling, and then squeeze it and then rip the toenail off. That will start a whole new nail without the fungus. However, if you're trying to regrow a nail that is half infected and half new, the new nail will always be infected by the old because it's connected. So there are fibers that run through a nail when you actually have it on your fingers. So that's what I can tell you. However, if he wants to go the more slow and gradual route, which most people don't like to do because they won't stick with it, he can soak his feet in hydrogen peroxide 3% every day for about 20 minutes. Okay, no longer than that, because they will dry out and yellow the skin. So don't do that. We don't want to break open the skin so bacteria can get in there. 20 minutes at the max. So do that every day until you get the desired result. But you might want to take a shower first to soften the nail so that the hydrogen peroxide can penetrate. Okay, you can also take care of this from the inside by taking an oil of oregano supplement, which is an antibacterial anyway, as far as getting rid of bacteria. Now, as far as fungus, you'll have to take an antifungal, which is something like a garlic or a onion capsule that you can buy at Sprouts or Whole Foods or one of the top supplement companies out there. Okay, so look at this. LeBar Lewis is still on here. Good stuff, LeBar. I gotta wave at you. All right, I didn't see you were on here. Let me see, who is that? Who else is that on here? Let me see. I got Eden. All right. I always wonder why so many have problems with the placebo effect, and the end result is healing to the patient. Good stuff. Eden, that's what I've been talking about. So I am glad that you recognize that, because people don't realize the effect of a placebo, and they always associate it with something negative instead of something positive. So I have to agree with that. So LeBar Lewis in the house. Good stuff. He gave me some claps. I like that. All right, good stuff. Let me see. We got some more questions over here. If you guys got questions on Facebook, don't be afraid to ask. Okay, go ahead. Now, let me see what I got. Have you heard about the late Hulda R. Clark and her zapper to kill viruses, bacteria, and parasites? C. Corbin, no, I have not. So enlighten me a little bit about that. So if you can, yeah, so please, I would love to hear about that and possibly test it on myself. You know, I'm a guinea pig. So yes, I might have to do that. Okay, let me get another one. Oh, look at this. Stina says, we're at the hospital right now. She needs a transfusion. Her blood count is at 5.2 5.2 what? And she's throwing up every time she tries to eat. She said it's normal. Now, throwing up every time you try to eat is not normal. That means that you have either holes blown into your stomach because your body does not want the food to leak into your abdominal pelvic cavity, or the normal flora are gone in your stomach and the lining is stripped. So you don't have, it's too sensitive to take food to the other end. So in either case, you're going to have to repair that. And what you're going to have to do is coat the digestive system. I would suggest something called mastic gum. Okay, now it's not real gum. It's a capsule that you take. And mastic gum actually helps coat and repair the intestinal lining. Now, I'm going to tell you this. If you want to, you can use something called, it's not nutritional yeast. It is another one, bovine colostrum. There you go. All right. So bovine colostrum is something that you can use that actually severely and quickly repairs the intestinal tract, but you can't eat the processed food. If she's eating hospital food, that might be one of the reasons she's throwing up. If she's not eating stuff that's organic, like juices, as far as food, her body's going to reject it anyway, because the toxic stuff definitely is not going to go through her system, especially if it's damaged. So you need something healthy. So either mastic gum or colostrum, so that you can actually get the repair of the gut, and then she can start absorbing again. Okay, because without absorption, her condition will continue to get worse because she can't absorb any nutrients. All right. So what is, since you're in the hospital, what is her condition? So ask her that. Ask her if she knows, if they gave her any information on that. Okay, KC up here says, trying to get rid of toxins in my body. I've had bronchitis for 3 weeks now. 3 weeks, that's not long. So that means this is an acute infection. And I'm on antibiotics and a steroid. So to suppress the allergic response that could swell the throat shut and the lung tissues. Okay, so it says an inhaler. Want to get to the root of my issue. So let me see. You said you're on antibiotics, so they're trying to get rid of the bacteria. You're on a steroid, so they're trying to suppress your tissue, and you're on an inhaler because this has to happen fast. That means you had an acute allergic reaction to what? I don't know. That means you had a respiratory infection that is actually getting to you. So what you need to do is get a pot of water, get you an essential oil called lavender, and then you're going to put the lavender in water, boil it, not high, but simmer it until it boils, and then sniff the vapors. Okay, that will actually get down into your lungs and get rid of the infection without you having to do it invasively by a capsule, or for their reasons, a drug. So try that out, because steam has no problem getting through the smallest of surfaces. That's why you use steam or aromatherapy. It works. Okay, it does work. So try that, but make sure it doesn't have any counterindications with the medications you're taking. I don't know what they gave you. I'm assuming with the inhaler, it could be albuterol, but I don't know if that's it, because they have like 70 different drugs that do the same thing that are called something different. So check out that one. Okay, we got some more questions in here. Hey, 1, 2, 3, what's going on? All right, back in the house. All right, Alvin, how about this? Super strength saw palmetto, prostate health supplement, extract and berry powder complex, support, help reduce frequent urination. Any suggestions? Thank you. Now, if you're trying to reduce urination, that means your body is actually getting rid of water excessively. So you have excess blood sugar, meaning your insulin could not be working. And that could also mean that you have damage to the large intestine, because you have it says frequent urination. So that means that your large intestine is absorbing too much water. Now, the opposite of that could be that you're dehydrated as well. And now your kidneys have started working overtime as far as trying to slow down the production of water to get it out of there. The problem is, if you dehydrate your cells, you can't keep the cytoplasm intact. You can't keep the cell membrane intact, and therefore your body will end up messing up on you in other areas. So you'll notice your thyroid starts to malfunction, your brain function starts going down, brain fog gets heavier, and you'll start having problems, especially liver-wise. So I think for this one, I see what you're doing as far as the saw palmetto, the prostate supplement, because you want to keep the balances going in your body. But where did you get the information to actually take these? Because these are actually, they sound like they were given to you by somebody who's an expert in giving you recommending powders and things as far as frequent urinations. Okay, but Yeah, frequent urination is hard because there's a lot of things that can cause that, and a lot of things can cause your kidneys to act up to start secreting water, including damage to the kidney itself. So that's a hard one to get to. I would have to see a test internally, or a blood test, or a urine test, in order to be able to determine what went wrong with you. If you have any of those, let me know so we can give you more information. So it says, "Hello, Alvin. Can you talk about antibiotics?" Marva, back in the house. Marva, what's going on? Up late, I see. Now, as far as antibiotics, I don't agree in using them because it's one of the only drugs I do agree with sometimes, because you don't have to take it for the rest of your life. You take it as long as you have the infection, and once it's gone, you don't have to take it again. That's the only good part about antibiotics. The bad part is it's a toxic medication that you're putting in your body, and the byproducts will lodge into your tissues and joints, your cartilage, and then you will start having autoimmune disorders later in your life if you do it often enough. So if you're steadily on antibiotics, something wrong is going to happen. However, this is the problem. You'll notice that most people get a Z-Pack nowadays, and when people get a Z-Pack, that's code for one antibiotic won't do it when it used to do it in the past, meaning that the infections are evolving to the point they're getting more and more and more mutated, to the point where one doesn't work anymore. So now they have to use a battery of antibiotics in order to treat the same weak condition. The problem is, once we have the infections, which are not going away, to evolve past the Z-Pack, and we have no other combinations to kill those, now it is uncontrollable. Now, people think that's bad. It's not. You have something called an immune system, and all you have to do is build it or keep it healthy so that you don't have to worry about taking antibiotics. See, that's the problem. People think that because you have an infection, you should have antibiotics. No, really what you do is you boost your immune system at times when you have an infection, and then your white blood cells will kill that infection for you. All right, physically kill it. So we don't have to worry about concocting a drug that actually will kill it or help your body kill it. Your body will physically kill it, and there's no evolving past that. That's just like saying, if I gave you let's see if I can come up with an example for this one. So evolving past. So I can all day long try to evade a water hose, one from out of the side of your house. If they give one for the fire truck, I can evade that one too. But eventually I'll get good enough to where I can evade that powerful stream. And then you can just turn on the water faucet, the water hydrant, and shoot a huge blast of water, and I'll somehow still find a way to get around that. However, if somebody shot me with a gun, how much evading can I do? Not much. So that's what I'm telling you. Your immune system, your white blood cells, that's the gun. The antibiotics, that's the water from all these different sources. It'll try its best, but eventually you still have to get through because they're not strong enough. That's what you want to rely on, your body's immune system, not this crap where you think a medicine is doing the work, because a medicine never does the work. It just covers the symptom until your body does the work. That's the trick. That's what they don't tell you. Okay. The doctors want to hide that from you. All right. They will not tell you. Your body is actually doing the work anyway. So don't worry about that. Okay, Dionysia Mingo is watching. Dionysia, all right, what are you doing on here this late? What is wrong with you? Are you high? Do you need a haircut? Are you? I'm just like. So if you're up this late, I love it. You're probably out mingling and making more business contacts. I probably guess. Yes. Now I know I was on here late. It's all good stuff. Let me see. I got another question on here. Now, Money Machine Gun says, can beer be good for you? Okay, in one respect, it's fermented. Now, fermented foods actually help you and help to build your immune system. However, beer is fermented hops. So that, when it's fermented, it creates a bacteria that's kind of harmful to your body. And that's why men get beer bellies, because they get inflammation from the fermented hops. So usually fermented goods are super good for you as far as restoring your normal gut flora. But beer, on the other hand, because it's twofold, it's fermented hops and it's alcohol, which both are bad for the human body and your body try to eliminate. So is beer good for you? In no respect, no. Usually fermented foods are, but in this case, because they mixed it with alcohol, nah. All right. If you did the hops plant by itself, Yeah, but if you're trying to drink Michelob Ultra and Budweiser and all these special IPAs and stuff like that, Samuel Adams, if you're trying to do those, it ain't gonna work. So I'm gonna say on all beer, nope. Not good for you. All right. Even wine is not good for you. It's only good for you if you drink one small glass a day. And that's because resveratrol is a very powerful antioxidant that helps to get rid of clogs and arteries in your body so that your blood starts flowing better. But other than that, that's the only thing I can say positive about alcohol. The hard stuff, definitely not. All right. Vodkas, whiskeys, bourbons, no. All that stuff too hard on the body, and it destroys your liver. So nothing on that one. Okay. So hey, 123 online. I like it. All right. I have lavender. Good stuff. All right. Good stuff. KC, you can actually start implementing that tonight or tomorrow. So good stuff. It says Stina back in here. Thank you. She's here because of anemia and she can't keep anything down. The only said her count was 5.2 and she needs blood. Thank you again. Okay. Now, if she needs blood, that means that she's not producing blood. So if her blood count is dropping and it's dropping that severely, that means she has bone problems. That's where your blood comes from, your long bones in your body. Two of the biggest producers in your body are your thighs, your femur. Okay, the next biggest ones are your humerus, your upper arm bones. So these and these make up about 50 to 60% of all your blood production. So therefore, those have to be healthy. Now, I'm assuming that they have not found anything yet, but there might be a bone cancer or a bone tumor lurking somewhere, and that's why her ability to create blood is shutting down. The only other alternatives is she's creating enough blood, but the blood is not carrying any oxygen. And that could be because she has, what is that? Give it to me. Oh, I can't think of it. Dang it. It slipped me. I'll think of it in just a minute. All right. So, but if that's the case, she needs blood builders. And just think this. B is for blood. So she needs B vitamins and she needs them right away and in high concentrations. And when I say high concentrations, I don't mean that bull at the store where they're talking about 200 milligrams, 250, 500. She needs like 5,000 milligrams. So you need to see if she can get a high potency vitamin B so she can, especially B12, so she can actually get it into her ileum and absorb it. It's going to be hard because what's happening is if she is, like you said, she can't keep anything down, I'm willing to bet she has leaky gut, and that means she has holes all in her digestive system, meaning they're probably feeding her through an IV. If that's the case and she can't keep anything down, then she'll have to repair that. That's what I said, the mastic gum, okay, or the bovine colostrum. Now, once she does that and starts immediately, take the vitamin B. If it's a capsule, break open the capsule and put it in water so it'll absorb in the blood fast and in the stomach so it doesn't have to travel all the way to the other parts in order to absorb. The problem is B12 only absorbs in the ileum, the last part of the small intestine. So she'll have to repair quickly so that she can actually get the use of that B12 vitamin so that she can actually go through with it. Now, I'm going to tell you this. Don't take any vitamins that have a metal in it. All right, chromium, iron. I know they're probably giving you an iron supplement. If it's bioavailable, like from Andrew Lessman, that's cool. But if it has chromium, that's a hard metal. Don't do that. If it has copper, that's a hard metal. Don't do that because it'll shut down your kidneys. And in your condition, you can't afford that. So please just repair the gut first. That's the first thing. Repair the gut. And after that, you can start absorbing. And hopefully, if you can do this fast enough, because it sounds like your health is going to decline to the point where they're ready to talk about you dying pretty soon. And I don't want that for you. So if you can do it as fast as possible to get those supplements, I think you can have a chance at reversing this thing and getting better soon. Ask your friend how old she is. Okay. Ask her how old she is. Okay, let me see. Stina, yes. Ask her how old she is. Now, hey, 123. I bought it on that line, not from a doctor. No. I'm not saying you got it from a doctor. I'm saying you sound like you got it from a professional, a naturalistic professional. So that sounds like a good concoction or regimen for exactly what you were talking about, reducing frequent urination. But remember, your body's probably doing that for a reason. All right, so good stuff. Yep. And look, so Labar Lewis says, yes, I took a Z-Pack. I don't think it worked fully. Interesting. Yes. And that's why, and it will continue to decline as far as its effectiveness. It will continue. So good stuff. Good stuff. We still got 2 people on Facebook. We got 32 people on YouTube at this time of night. I love it. All right. So I know we would have more if we got on here earlier, but I know people are asleep, and we might get on tomorrow just to make sure we answer the question of those people who are looking for me today. Okay. Oh, let's see. Oh, I can't stay on her too much longer. It's been 35 minutes. All right. So, because I know my phone is about to shut down any minute now. So let me see. Thank you, Alvin, for touching on antibiotics. Very helpful. Good stuff. Good stuff. Glad I could help, Marva. Thank you. What's good for bad memory, brain fog? Because I'm trying to break a bad addiction. Okay. Now, so what she's saying is she's trying to break an addiction. That means she's getting toxins out of her body. When you do that, the toxins will enter your blood and thus your brain. And in that case, you want to flush your brain so you don't get the headaches and you don't get the fog and stuff like that. In order to clear out your brain, you need blood cleaners, and you need them fast. Cilantro or parsley are considered really good brain cleaners, but I found some better. Chlorella and spirulina. Those two are better than cilantro and parsley. So if you want to do those as supplements, you can buy them at Sprouts or Whole Foods, any supplement store that's into health. I don't know if you guys have these stores in your neighborhood, but they have stores called Naturally Grounded, where they actually have almost every variety of healthy supplement you can think of. So if you got a Herbally Grounded around you too, that works as well. Okay, so good stuff. Good stuff. All right. All right, hypoxemia, low oxygen in the blood, Arby. All right, so that sounds like a serious one. Now, if you have low oxygen in the blood, that means your hemoglobin is suffering. It means you have something. That was the one I was trying to think of earlier. It might be that one. I can't think of that. I can't even think of the name of the condition. I mean, it's gonna, as soon as I get off here, it's gonna pop into my head. I'm gonna be like, dang it, I got it. But whenever you suffer, it either means you have leukemia or you have this other condition I'm trying to think about. But as far as the conditions go, it means that your heme groups, which carry iron is what attracts oxygen to your blood. If you don't have iron, you can't attract oxygen to your blood. So it could be an iron deficiency. It could be that your heme groups are missing, or it could be that your blood cells themselves are deformed, meaning the beginning of sickle cell anemia. I don't think, or I hope that's not the case, but it could be. So you'll have to fix those. Now, people think that sickle cell anemia, because it has a genetic component, is irreversible. That's not true. Your genes express according to the environment that they're in. So if you put them in a negative stress-induced environment, meaning chemicals, additives, and preservatives, they will express a negative trait, sickle cell. But if you fix the environment and the environment is stress-free and you don't have any chemicals, additives, preservatives in your system, guess what happens? The condition goes away. You return to your natural state. Your body has DNA. It always wants to return to its natural state. So let it. Okay, so as far as that is concerned. So hopefully we touched on you a little bit. That works for any of the conditions that I mentioned. Okay, so, all right. All right, so the condition, I remembered, it's called thalassemia. Okay, when your red blood cells are too big or too small and they are inadequate in the amount of oxygen they can carry. Thalassemia. I couldn't think of it for anything. Okay, so let's see. Let me see. Sharon's Poetry Corner. She says, have a crazy question. Are regular everyday tree leaves edible? Okay. In this case, yes, they are. Okay. Because you can eat dirt straight from the ground. And so you can definitely eat a leaf, especially for the chlorophyll. However, the fiber is especially harsh on your digestive system. So I wouldn't advise it every day, all the time. But if we're in end times, it works. So, and most plants work. You can eat grass if you wanted to. You can eat certain berries and plant leaves and stuff like that. So I know, because I have a book that I put in a survival kit as far as what to eat in case the food supply went away. So I got that just for my emergency kit. So Labar Lewis says, have you tried Andrew Lessman's eye support or liver supplement? Does it work? I saw him him on HSN. Doctor, I believe wholly in all of Dr. Andrew Lessman's pills and supplements, because he makes sure. I actually went to see and visit his solar plant, the headquarters, which is here in Las Vegas, and he actually takes great pride in putting the supplements, and what he says is in there is in there. So he is extremely reputable. I buy all his stuff. So yes, I have tried it, and yes, they all work, and they are super potent, just like he says. Okay, so very good question. All right, so let's see. You're the best, Doc, Al. Casey, I'm not a doctor. I am the most passionate non-doctor on the internet. So I keep having to tell people that, because everybody calls me a doctor because I study like a doctor. I do. I even go so far and beyond as far as the human body. And there's so much stuff rumbling around up here. But I know that your brain is equivalent to 16 trillion gigabytes. So I can hold a lot up here. I can hold the whole of human history in my one brain, and you guys can too. I just realized the potential of mine, so I'm trying to push it to the limit as far as what I can learn about the human body. So that's all. That's it. So if anybody is in here new, give us a thumbs up. So as far, I think it's over here somewhere, but give us a thumbs up and make sure that you guys ask a question if you got it. Okay, ask a question. What does it say here? Okay, it says, hello, Alvin. 1, 2, 3 again. It says, my dad is taking this graviola for health cell function. What do you think? To cure his prostate cancer, I got it online. I searched for it. Now, as far as prostate cancer is concerned, that's what I actually had, and that's what I got rid of. Now, I got rid of mine just with changing my diet. That was it. I didn't take anything special. I didn't do it. The only thing I put into my diet was a bioavailable multivitamin and my vitamin B complex. That was the supplements that I took. Now, on top of that, I did do my juicing. I had carrot, I had apple, I had ginger, I had banana, I had pineapple. I had things in there, and it was always some form of green in my juice, whether that be kale, chard, collard greens, which are super good as antioxidants, or broccoli. So you can use any kind of green that you want. Just switch them out every week. So when you use it up, go get another green. When you use that up, go get another green, so you don't get tired of the same thing. Because we humans, we like variety. Now, certain things are staples. Carrots and apples, I know I need those. So yes, I'm going to get the carrots and apples in every single one of my juices. But I also put my multivitamin in the juice. I also break open my ginkgo sometimes and put it in the juice. Now, I just try out some things sometimes, like ginkgo. I'm just trying it out right now. I'm testing it for other people to see what it does to the brain. Does it improve brain function, stuff like that? I haven't noticed much of a difference because I eat healthy anyway, so my brain is always kind of turned on. So I would say, I didn't notice much difference, but I did notice that when I started working on something, I did have tremendous focus, but I always do because I listen to binaural beats when I work. So I think maybe that, I don't know which one it is. All right. So we got 40 people on there. We got 40 people. So as far as the prostate, I just did it with diet. So, hey, 1, 2, 3, I did it with diet. Now, as far as graviola, I've heard some really good things about it. I've read a lot about that from, I can't remember the doctor's name. She's a holistic doctor. She used to be a real doctor, and now she went to a holistic doctor. But she read a whole lot about this subject, and she said that it was almost like a miracle when you actually took it as far as that was concerned. Now, don't ever think that there's only one remedy for anything. There's always several. All right. That's what the doctors tried to talk me into when I had my prostate cancer. Oh, you need to go straight to chemotherapy and you need to go right to radiation because that's the only thing that can help it. Or we can do a transurethral resection where we can stick a large steel tube down your penis and blend up your prostate and suck it out in pieces. How does that sound? I'll take a hell no on that one. Yes. All right. So no, we're not going to do that. Okay. So it says here, Cue the Soul says, what's the cause of sudden fainting and stress, loss of consciousness? You probably just answered your own question. Usually it is stress, sudden fainting. All sudden fainting means that you had a sudden blood loss to the brain. Now, that could be because you have weak blood vessels. It could be because you have a blockage in a blood vessel. But in any case, you shorted blood to the brain, and that's why you faint. Your body, it's a survival mechanism so that you don't overdo it as far as activity and then not have any oxygen to make up for the deficit causing brain damage. So stress is usually what causes it, but the effects of stress are clogged arteries, brain fog, brain damage. So that might be the case. That might be the case. Clogged arteries, lower nitric oxide production. So that's basically what's causing the issue as far as the fainting. But you have to repair that, and that comes from repairing your blood vessels. What do you need to repair your blood vessels? Selenium, copper, vanadium. Okay, those are the three things. If you don't know what I said, selenium, copper, vanadium. Those are the things that create a solid cell wall and get rid of plaques on your cell walls. Okay, good stuff. I love it. Thank you for the help. All right, cue the soul. I am more than happy to. So good stuff. So it's called, I know Arby's got the medical terms here. It's called syncope. That is correct. All right, so syncope, that's the code, that's medical code for fainting. Okay, so let me see if Arby is up on this. He's probably like an MA or a nurse or something in a hospital. Let's ask Arby a trivia question. Arby, this is your question. What is the medical name for a nosebleed? All right, we're going to give you a little time to answer this one. I know this is a little bit delayed, so you should get it right about now. And Arby, let us know, what's the medical name for a nosebleed? I know, do you guys like my Alex Trebek? Okay, so we're just going to give him a little music. Okay, so everybody sing with me the Three Stooges song. All right, everybody ready? C-A say, C-E-C, C-I sicky si, C-O so sicky si, O C-U su sicky si so su. All right, we went through the C's. Let's see. All right, we have no question yet. Okay, he hasn't given an answer. We got to go to the D's. D-A-day, D-E-D, D-I dicky die, D-O-do, dicky die, O D-U-do, dicky die, do-do. All right, we went through the D's. Let's see, did he pick it up? All right, come on, Arby, where you at? He said epistaxis is correct. Very good. He must have a medical book right in front of him. Arby, are you cheating? All right. No, I'm just kidding, Arby. You're good at this. All right. This is good stuff. He's had an extensive course in medical terminology. This is good stuff. I love it. All right. So here we go. I'm going to go ahead and let you guys get off of here on this late Friday night. I know we should have gotten on here early, but if I had, I probably wouldn't have met some of you all because you don't know when we get on. We usually get on about Friday, about 3 o'clock my time, which is Pacific. And we get on here and we talk about all this stuff and we answer a whole bunch of questions. So let me get one more question and then we'll see maybe two, one from Facebook and one from YouTube. So it says, what can we do to bring down inflammation in the gut or just overall in the body? Now, the ones I mentioned earlier are still true. If you want to do the bovine colostrum or the mastic gum, that takes down inflammation in the digestive system only. But if you want to do whole body, including the digestive system, you can use ginger or turmeric. All right, as a supplement. So it comes in a capsule. If you want to use the real turmeric root, and I suggest you do because it's more powerful that way, it loses none of its nutrients until you cut it up. Okay, so that's a good one. Good question, Labar. I like that. So tag them in the photo. Good stuff. Somebody actually asked for a tag. So we got one more, and that was the one on Facebook. This is the last one on YouTube. Let's see what we got. It says, my 16-year-old daughter has, so parent alert, my 16-year-old daughter has severe eczema and was told to have chemo. Wow, chemo for eczema. Eczema is not a cancer, so I don't know why in the hell they would ever prescribe that. I guess they're trying to increase their customer base for chemotherapy by including eczema in that. But if you want to make your eczema a lot worse, then do the chemotherapy because that will destroy your immune system and you will have almost no defense to get rid of the eczema, which is actually skin and tissue irritation. So how about this? I've had eczema, so I know. I've had the lesions, I've had the tingling, I've had the numbness. So don't worry about anything as far as chemo. Don't do that. Okay, now it says, she doesn't care about being sterilized. Any other suggestions? All right. So you meaning she doesn't want to do it. So, and I don't blame her. Now, this is what you do. All you have to do is flush out the body. Now, you can do that one of two ways. You can either do a saline wash, flush out your digestive system, and then do a coffee enema to let your liver clean out your tissues so that you can get rid of the condition, or you can do a whole body cleanse, which I suggest the Gaia Supreme Cleanse, because it's not a laxative. It doesn't mess with your stomach or abdomen, and it does the job in 12 days. So it completely flushes out all your systems. Now, I don't care which one you use because they're both effective, but if you want it done faster, I would suggest the saline wash and the coffee enema, because that will clean out your system. Now, if you want to do the saline wash, the coffee enema, and then right after that, start the Gaia Supreme Cleanse, then do that, because then you can get the full effect of both. However, I'm going to tell you this, whenever you're doing a cleanse, especially the Gaia, in that 12 days, it takes every drug out of your system. So if your daughter's on birth control, if your daughter's taking a medication for asthma, it will wipe that out of their system, and therefore they will suffer in the meantime. So you cannot do drugs at the same time that you do a wash, a cleanse. So remember that. You might have to check with your doctor, especially on this one, because there might be ramifications for wiping it out of their system. You need to know what the side effect is, because I don't know what she's taking. I don't know the side effects of what she's taking. So I can't give you any clue right now. But for the most part, be careful with those two. Okay, so be careful. Just when you take her off, just make sure she's not taking any medications if you're going to do this, the Gaia Supreme Cleanse. Okay. Look at this. It says RB Washington says Alvin is the man. He definitely knows his stuff. Please, people, listen. All right. Good stuff. RB, thank you. Mr. Washington, I like getting the positive comments. And you know what? I like giving them back, because I always clap for the people who actually have done a great job in restoring and taking care of their own health. I want you guys to take control of your health. I don't want you to be sheep. I don't want you to go out there and just listen to somebody because they're wearing a white coat that has a pocket protector on it, and they're giving you these instructions like they're the authority and you're the peon and you must do what they say. Don't ever think of yourself like that. You've been living with your body for your entire life. Your doctor cannot come in and in 15 minutes, if that, come in and be a complete authority on your life. That's BS. So what I want you to do is take control of your health. If you don't like something, say something. Don't just let the doctor run you over because he's wearing a white coat. He seems like an expert. He's been going to school for 8-10 years. I'm going to tell you this. I don't care how long they've gone to school. They don't know me. All right. So they don't know how my body works. And sometimes they send people home to die. Sometimes they keep people in the hospital who don't need to be there. So that means that they're guessing. Even with all their education, they're guessing. Even with their white coats, they're guessing. Even with their topsiders on, they're guessing. So just because somebody has a stethoscope wrapped around their neck does not make them an authority on your life. Usually when they leave the room, they're going to check your condition in a book because they don't know what the hell is going on. That's usually when they send you home without any medications or with a prescription, just because, oh, just try this. What do you mean try this? Aren't you a doctor? The holder of all knowledge medical? So if you don't know what's going on with me, how can you just give me a medication and think that try this and see if it works? Just because the rep from the pharmaceutical company just gave it to you? So now you're going to give it to me? You don't even know what it does. You don't know the side effects. You didn't even tell me any side effects when you gave me the prescription. What's wrong with you? Oh, did you think the pharmacy was going to do that? They don't do that. They just tell you to read the packet. And some of the medical words are so difficult, you can't even understand what's on the packet. So please, 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 everybody who's listening right now, take control of your own health. Do not let anybody bully you, either in life or in the medical office, because they don't know you. You do. That's it for tonight. All right. I'm going to cut it short on that. So you guys have a good time tonight. Hopefully you guys don't stay up too much longer. I'm about to go to bed in a little bit, but it was a pleasure as always. And we made it to 52 minutes in here. So LeBar Lewis, thank you for showing up and staying on here as long as you did and answering your questions. I really do appreciate you. You're usually the only one that's on Facebook, and I appreciate you coming in. So I'm going to get out of here. You guys have a good night. This is Alvin J, the most passionate non-doctor on the internet, and take control of your health. Have a good night and enjoy your Friday. I am out of here. Okay, so peace.